Guys, one of the things we've watched this entire year, not only the drying of the desert Southwest, but the melting of the poles. We saw the Antarctic during the winter get 36 degrees above normal. We've seen the ice sheets melt in the Arctic, and they are at record lows. But what is breaking all-time records now is the oceanic bleaching effect. It's going to destroy the coral reefs. We're going to get into it, and I'm going to show you the data, so hang in there. Now, this is last year, going back exactly almost a year. And what you're seeing in the different color schemes here, from light yellow into the darker reds, these are different levels of bleaching. Then this is for the coral reefs of the oceans, of the entire planet's oceans. And if you get into the red scale, you're up into level 5. And when you get from 3 to 5, it becomes very dangerous. And when that happens, the coral reefs start to die off, guys, and it affects all marine life. The fish, everything is balanced because of the life of the coral reefs. Now, if you've got a bleaching watch, it's indicated by low-level heat stress. This is again, the coral reefs are the basic life source of all marine life. But if you get a bleaching warning, it's high risk. Heat stress is actively accumulating. But then you go to level 1 through 5. The alert level 1 is a risk of reef-wide bleaching. Significant bleaching is likely. That's just at a level 1. And alert level 2, severe bleaching and significant mortality of heat-sensitive corals. You get into that red area, dark red, the alert levels from 3 to 5, guys. That means extreme heat stress, indicating multi-species mortality, ranging from 50% to over 80%, near complete coral deaths. Again, this is the base, from the microscopic base all the way up to the top of the marine life cycle. And when you're talking about 50 to 80% near complete coral death, guys, this Earth is resetting. It's overheating. All of this is because of the heat factors, the record El Nino. Now, let's go from last year to this year, looking at the coral bleaching effect. Now, let's go back to that 2025 map, 1 year ago. Again, the yellow areas, guys, are you starting to get into the watches and the warnings. And then you suddenly get into these top levels. This red area is where they're talking about 80 or 50 to 80% complete death of the corals. You can see this in many areas. But now let's transition into day. Watch the red areas or the red areas and the bleaching effect that we're going through. Totally different, guys. These are dark reds. This indicates where the El Nino is. And the bleaching effects, guys, has to do with the temperature. And if you look all the way along the coast, even south of the Aleutian Islands here, this is record heat and record bleaching. A tremendous amount. Again, we're talking about, they're saying this is a record breaker. But we knew the cycle was changing. We knew we were going to see these things. And this is exactly what's happening. Guys, and this should wake everyone up. The collapse of our planet. That's what's happening. But what does it signify when we see this level 5? Extreme heat stress. The sea surface temperatures have been dangerously elevated for months. Going back again, 25 was a record year, but nothing compared to this year. Mass mortality. Expect near complete multi-species coral death, often exceeding 80%. Ecosystem collapse. The thermal stress is high enough to kill structurally dominant corals, entirely altering the reef habitat, which is the base. That's the food line. That's where it begins. Now, what's important to realize, guys, is from 1 year ago to today, there were areas that were just at that alert level 1 that are now alert level 5. Extreme multi-species mortality rate. The ocean currents are shifting. We saw that at the beginning of the summer, when we saw that the El Nino was working against everything, pushing all the moisture out of the desert Southwest and all the heat across the nation. And what's going to happen, guys, it says the loss of coral reefs on this scale will trigger catastrophic domino effect throughout the global ocean, disrupting marine biology, coastal safety, and economic systems. Of course, it's all going to happen at one time. They're saying that the first thing is the collapse of the marine food web. A lot of people depend on that. All of the marine life depends on it. But you're going to lose the biodiversity. Coral reefs occupy less than 1% of the ocean floor, but support over 25% of all marine life. So you're going to see that depletion. But what happens when that 25% of marine life is gone? Where are the larger predators, in other words? You're going to have habitat destruction. When corals die and their skeletal structures crumble, smaller organisms lose their shelters. The fisheries collapse. Commercially important fish species rely on reefs for spawning, and nurseries, their populations will plummet, devastating global food supplies, devastating the planet, 75% of the Earth's surface. Because once that coral is bleached out, it becomes real dry and it gets brittle. And when you have that, you have the storms and the waves, they'll snap it, weaken the coral branches. The crabs, shrimp, and juvenile fish lose all hiding places. What happens? The ecosystem completely collapses into a low biodiversity wasteland. It's more than a third of the oceans in this case that we're seeing. This is a worldwide event, and here we are, we're witnessing it. Now, I don't want to go on and drag this out and make it technical. I think the point's been made. The Earth is changing fast. But I do want to show you this. This is today from the Earth Wind NOAA map. And what we're looking at is the very center of the North Pole right there. And I've got a marker here. But what you're seeing, guys, are waves. See this? This should be solid ice through here. And we've seen it break apart. We've seen it get smaller. And it is smaller than the years before. But look how close the waves are to the center. That should not be there. I double checked it. If you've got waves, and that's what this is indicating, guys, let's see, that are they're moving at 65 degrees and they're 2 seconds apart, significant waves. And why are they moving through where the ice should be, this close to the pole? It's a 180, definitely a 180 to the north side of our North Pole that is open water. Think about what we're looking at, guys. How much time do we have? How much time do we have to prepare? And I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm looking at the data. But guys, again, I do this because I think it's important. It's not to scare anyone, but if you're not aware of the situation, you definitely will be caught off guard. And knowledge is power. And before I go, I want to thank everyone that went over yesterday and signed into our Patreon channel. I mentioned that in the YouTube projections that by the end of 2027, most of the channels will be AI. The humans won't really be a big part of it anymore. But on Patreon, it's a little different. The restrictions aren't there. And another thing, guys, in the $5 tier, and that's what we have there, it supports the ART project, which is our animal rescue. Another thing, guys, it's ad-free. There's no ads there. You go straight through the video. And we load them there now before they get to YouTube. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.